What will you experience at a Knock'em Dead comedy murder mystery show? Suspense, excitement, love, more love, violence. Well, not really. And of course, some music. Knock'em Dead Comedy is the #1 murder mystery troupe, entertaining thousands of people for over 20 years.
You have a great night or what? Good.
Their hilarious murder mystery shows are full of audience interaction from beginning to end that will keep you laughing all night long. Their shows are not to be missed. Knock'em Dead Comedy's murder mystery themes include a mob show, a redneck wedding, a high school reunion, a family reunion with a luau theme, or your own custom show.
Johnny, you have a good time tonight or what?
I had an awesome time.
All right. You had a great time. KDC, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, all right.
Fundraisers, private parties, corporate events, restaurants, and more. Contact Knock'em Dead Comedy for your event today.
The Knock'em Dead Comedy Radio Show also brought to you by Two Eagles Auto Body. For more than 25 years, Two Eagles Auto Body has been the leader in auto body repairs and customer satisfaction on Long Island. Two Eagles Auto Body handles every type of auto repair, from custom applications and restorations to repairs involving insurance claims. So call Two Eagles Auto Body and ask for John Rossi at 516-328-2527.
Hi, I'm Danny Bonaducci, and you are watching Gov's Radio. This is where you go if you want to see something or if you want to hear something funny. Coming up in just a couple minutes, this is a joke I told. What? I'm not on Gov Radio? Call the police. Call my agent.
Hey, how do you say there, people? It's Johnny Brennan, creator of the Jerky Boys, also of Fox TV's Family Guy fame. I just want to let you know you're listening to Tony and Sally on the Knock 'em Dead radio show. They're going to keep knocking 'em dead, so keep listening, you wacky sons of bitch. Right there. Over and out there, sweet Charlie.
Hey, Tony, you're not funny, and you probably shit yourself a lot, and you're no fun to be with, and you don't make that much money, and you're not going anywhere in show business, and I hope you get hit by a bus, and...
3-2 to Mookie Wilson. Little roller up along first, behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win it.
hello, Tony. Mookie Wilson here, 1986 Mets. How you doing? Long time no see, man. Hey, man, I miss you guys, man, that Knock'em Dead Comedy Radio, man. I miss you. I wish I was still up there, man. But I'll wait till it warm up a little bit, and hopefully this year things will be a little bit better, man. But when we're talking about comedy, hey, the early years of Mets was a lot to laugh about. You had to make a lot of comedy off those guys. Hey, hope to see you guys during the summer, and hopefully get back on the show, man, at some point in time during the course of the year, all right? All right? Yeah, fine. Contact me, man. All right, Tony. Talk to you later.
Hi, everybody. Don't mind us. We're just talking amongst ourselves here. Welcome to the Knock'em Dead Comedy Show. It's Tuesday trivia time. We're going to get to trivia in just a little bit. My headphones are weird this morning. What's going on? Huh.
Saliani fuck him up?
I would love to blame him, but he wasn't here yesterday.
Oh, okay.
The last people in here were you, me, and Travis yesterday.
Oh, now I see where the blame's going.
To Travis.
Yeah, Travis, of course.
He's not here, so we're just blaming him.
Yeah.
Hello, Dana. Hello, DJ. Thanks for joining us today. I don't know. It's weird. Like, only once this side of my headphones is working. Is this side working?
Oh, you know what? That happened over there when I was with Hershey and the Keegs.
Oh, really?
The other day, yeah. One of the headphones, it was only coming out of one ear.
Oh, that's weird.
I think sometimes it happens when the wire is messed up.
Yeah. I'll have to. Actually, it is working, but it's just lower.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
and it throws me off. I feel like I'm going to tilt.
Yeah. It gets you off your equilibrium.
That's it. And there's not much there to begin with, especially since, I can only, I normally fall to my right anyway because I'm unbalanced. So, so speaking of Travis, we had a weird afternoon yesterday with you guys.
Yeah, that was weird.
We were taping Treading Water with Hugh and Travis.
Yeah.
We were gonna, that way because Travis is going down to
going on
Texas,
the road, Austin, Texas.
He's got some good appointments down there where he sells his body.
Yeah,
they pay well in Texas for that apparently. So you guys were taping
body.
That's why he's working out.
Yeah.
So you guys were taping Treading Water. We were going to air it Thursday at its regular time. However, we're not going to.
No, we're not. We had a couple fire alarms at the club. It was no one really knew what was going on because I tried to talk to you, Andrea, after, and I guess she was on the phone with the fire company.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
So we ended up talking later. I ended up booking that show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
but you had to, in July?
Yeah, July 22nd
Very
will
nice.
be the Treading Water comedy show.
Nice.
Yeah, so we worked out that. We got to get a flyer going.
Yeah.
We got to
get some other comedians, I'm assuming?
Start booking it, you know. We do have, I lined up one guy already. He's another Levittown guy, Levittown division, Andrew Barlow.
Oh, I don't know that.
Yeah, I've never performed with him, but Marissa is like best friends with his sister, and I remember his sister from high school. She was a little older, like closer to my age. He's a younger guy, but when I found out he was a Levittown division guy, I was like, oh, I never performed with him. I mean, like the other ones I have, like Jason Scoop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's a big impressionist. I don't know if you know Scoop.
I've heard of him. I've never seen him, but I've heard of him.
Yeah, he. I think he won like Dana Carvey's impression show.
Oh, no
it was
kidding.
Called like First Impression or something like that.
Wow.
Scoop. Yeah. So he was a Levittown division native. There's a couple other.
You're not gonna get Hirschman, are you? He's Levittown, but don't get him.
It depends. I might make him bring. If he could bring,
he is good at that.
Yeah,
he is very good at that. He put together a fundraiser. I'll never forget it. Like, see, Hirschman's always like I've always been intrigued by him.
Yeah,
he performs like twice a year.
Right. Yeah,
but all these guys, you would think he's been in comedy since the '80s or something. Like all the veteran comics, they like love him, and I don't. And so at first I'm like, what's that about? Then I figured, all right, well, he's probably throwing some money at somebody.
Yeah, that's possible. Yeah, Joe.
I mean, that's definitely why Monty's hanging out with him.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm wearing a Monty shirt.
Loses a little money at the track.
Exactly.
Yeah,
right.
Hirschman's bankrolling him.
Not a doubt.
Definitely like that Jew Italian. Like that's usually their chemistry.
Well, yeah. Well, the Italians. I can say this because I'm Italian.
Yeah.
We don't care if you're going to bankroll. We don't care what nationality you are.
Yeah, that's it.
But don't piss us off because then we'll just kill you.
Yeah.
But then I think it was like 2 years ago or so. Hirschman was doing some kind of fundraiser where he was going to headline in the main club.
Wow.
He fucking packed it out. I mean, I walked through the club like I was shocked. I was like, again, this is a guy that performs like 3 times a year at the most, always here, never anywhere else.
Yeah.
And he packed it out. I'm like, he's not a famous comic. What is going on?
No, it's impressive.
I'm walking through the club.
Maybe that's why he only performs 3 times a year, and
Is that the trick then?
Like supply and demand.
Right.
Yeah,
I wonder if, let's say you did that. I wonder what kind of money you'd make if you tallied it all. Like you did 3 shows a year here. Would it be more money than if you playing every weekend
it out
in bars?
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. That'd be actually an interesting comparison because packing out this room, I mean, you're talking about $350.
Right. That's why I was shocked. So I start walking through the room, right? And I'm looking around. Sure enough, I see a girl that I know. I'm like, oh, hey, we're just talking. So I asked her. I said, you're here to see Mark?
Yeah.
She says, oh, yeah. I was like, yeah, Mark's great. I'm like, and I said to her, I said, you're kidding. She was here to see him. I was like, what the? I couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it. From the Jew-Italian. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't believe how much he packs at the rooms because, like, I was curious, like, about, the Hershey and the Keys.
Right.
They did their own, like, Eagle Room show, where I think Monty headlined, and, like, I think they packed it out.
Yeah, I think they did.
And I was like, I'm trying to, like, leech off that a little bit, like, kind of, like, splice the wire a little bit. Let's get some of that juice onto this show, because, producing a show is always, like, it's weird, because you want to have, like, a top-notch show full of like great comedians.
Yep.
But comedians like kind of on my level or even like a step or two above, like sometimes they're really good, but they don't draw.
Right.
Right. And like Terry McNeely, one of my favorite comedians, people, friends. We went out to Keegan and I took a drive out to the Comedy Cove on Friday night.
Right.
And, we left really early. Keegan wanted to watch the Islanders game at the bar before the show. And Scotty's Pub has, which is like the bar, and then the Comedy Cove is like upstairs, which is the comedy room. And Scotty's Pub has great food. I've ate there once before. And so we were like, let's get dinner, watch the Islanders game. So we get all the way to Jersey. We're like 5 minutes away. We just sat in like 2 hours worth of traffic, and we get a call from Gene, who's the owner, and he tells Mike that there was a lot of cancellations.
Oh.
So I was wondering how many cancellations, but as then we got to the club, we sat down, we ate dinner, we're eating, we're watching the Islanders, Yankees, and Mike gets another call. Show's canceled. So like Terry, who's a great comedian, last I checked, I think he was close to like 150,000 followers on Instagram.
Wow.
You know, like he's doing very well in this business.
Yeah.
Still, you know, had his date canceled because he couldn't draw.
But that doesn't make sense to me. Like, it's a Friday night.
Right.
I mean, you're canceling the show. I mean, you're not going to close the club, right? I mean,
well, I think they did. You know, 'cause
really,
the comedy room's kind of separate. Like they have the bar and everything downstairs, but I guess to grab like a waitress from downstairs and have like them up on the comedy club. I don't know. I don't really get that decision all the time. You know, because like even in the Giggle Room, I've never produced there before, but you know, I heard the club has a rule that you need like 40 tickets sold.
That's correct.
Or they cancel the show.
Right. And they only book it on nights that the club is open.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. You're not going to get like a Monday show in the Giggle Room, which makes sense for like, you know, club owners, like monetary reasons, you know, like you have to pay a staff to be here. And, you know, if the ticket sales aren't going to outweigh that cost, like what's the point, you know?
But
like,
I guess that's why the comedy
because comedy is a business.
Yeah,
you know?
Of course.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm surprised because, I mean, I'm assuming, I don't know the place, I've never been there, but I know here, you know, even if you have cancellations, I mean, there's still plenty of people that are just going out on a Friday night that are going to show up just to see a comedy show. They're not even paying attention as to who's going to be here. And they're just going to show up. So that's not the case there, right?
Yeah, there's always walk-ins. I'm not familiar. You know, this is only my second time at the club. I was kind of a little bummed because I got a guest spot there once on. I think right around when I started coming on this show, we talked about Nicky Smiggs.
Yep.
And Keegan was featuring for him. I got like a little 5-minute guest spot. And the owner said he liked me, but has never responded to any emails.
Right.
You know, so that night, you know, we were already there. We were eating. We went and said hi. You know, he seems like he likes me. He remembered me. But you know, I was really hoping for another like little 5-minute guest spot or something more of like an audition spot. And you know, it was better because then I had Terry and Mike there who could kind of both vouch for me.
Sure.
You know, as opposed to just Mike. Where Nicky Smiggs, it was his show, and he didn't really know me.
Right.
You know, he was nice enough to give me the guest spot and be like, "Oh yeah, I'm cool with it. Don't worry about it." You know. But maybe I could have got 10 with Terry doing it. You know, who's like, "Yeah, let him do 10," because they have at that club. It's they always have like a house host. You know,
right.
Like, yeah. So like you can either feature or headline there. You can't host, you know, which is kind of what I'm used to. So I'm kind of like trying to break into a club as a feature,
right?
You know, so that'd be like a really cool opportunity. So I was a little bummed. Not to mention, I guess like the 4-hour round trip,
right?
Yeah,
just to watch the Islanders.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess I'm still confused because, for one, what about people that didn't cancel? So I guarantee there must have been at least one couple that showed up that didn't get an email, didn't get the phone call, and still showed up. But I think it's safe to say you might have a few people. But even if they did get the phone call, they were contacted. Like to cancel last minute like that, I'm thinking that's just not good for business. And now you're saying that they're separate. So if the bar is open, I don't know. To me, it's like, all right. So even if you get 30, 40 people, that are ordering drinks, you're still doing all right on the night. Yeah. You know, so I don't know.
That's what I always
surprised.
thought is like, you know, like even with the Giggle Room, like rule is like, so say you hit 20 and that doesn't meet like that threshold. Like, is it better to just have the show and get the money there rather than cancel the whole thing?
Right.
You know, if you're going to be open anyway, maybe dedicate less resources to it. I don't know enough about the business side.
Right. I mean, usually... And I don't know if I'm talking out of turn here, but a lot of these clubs, you know, with the comedians, they just do a door deal.
Right. Yeah.
And that's definitely the case with the Little Room. You know, the Little Room is the whole idea behind the Giggle Room is that they're letting people, whether it's local, national, anybody can rent. I shouldn't say rent the room, but they get the room.
Yeah, they get
the room
the
is open
space,
to anybody to produce a show. Governors rarely produces their own show in the Giggle Room, so you can come in and the governors say, "I'd like to book a night in there. I'm going to play my acoustic guitar. I'm going to bring a psychic medium. I'm going to bring comedians.
They let
whatever it is.
anyone really produce shows in there,
and you don't even have to pay them. You work out a door deal. You get a percentage of the door. They get the food and drink, and and everybody's happy. So even in a situation like that, it's all right, fine. The comedian's not going to make a lot of money. In this case,
Right.
if Terry had a door deal, he's not going to make a lot of money.
Right.
But to me, even if you break even, that's better than canceling completely.
Yeah.
And again, making these upsetting the people that were coming.
Right.
Wow.
Right. Yeah. I'm not familiar on
Yeah.
the reasoning either way. I guess we'd have.
I know I'm not pressing. I know you keep
Yeah.
saying that. Like I know I don't want you to get mad at me.
No.
But I'm not pressing you for an answer.
I don't personally know, and I'm curious. I'd be curious as to what way is better, because I do tend to forget that comedy is a business.
Yeah.
And I think most people do, where it's just kind of like, well, you do what you love, and I feel like that's why like there so many people like even me, I'm guilty of this sometimes, is I'll take a spot and it'd be like a very nice spot where there's like ticket prices or like some kind of budget from the bar or the producers, and I won't take pay.
Right.
Always, because I'm just looking for stage time, you
Right.
know, and until recently where I got laid off, I always had a really good job. So like I didn't need to be paid.
Right.
And but then you remember that there are so many comedians that are making a living out of this.
Right.
And if I'm working for free, I'm kind of fucking over everybody else.
Yeah.
And that kind of makes me very like anxious, because like coming from like a union background,
Right.
Like there's not much solidarity there.
Right.
And that's why like a lot of hobby comics and like part-timers, where the like especially the older crowd where they're like retired, like I just want to get on stage, and
Yeah.
and for me it's just like I'm trying to hustle. It's less like I don't care about the money. Like I'll always accept money, but I'm not gonna push it. Like I told local producer Mike Dillon, he was putting me up on a lot of shows when I first started coming around again, and he was giving me like 6-minute spots, and he was so concerned. Like he was like, sorry, I can't pay you unless you bring. I said, Mike, I don't care about money. I want more minutes.
Right.
I don't want a 6-minute spot. I want a 10, 15-minute spot. Like,
Right.
Like don't worry about the cash as much, because I was making more than enough money from my other gig. But that mentality for me is kind of messing up other comedians that will want to charge, because like, and it never really worked out in my favor either. It's like I always thought like, hey, if I don't charge people money, maybe they'll book me more,
Right.
And I kind of get that scummy scab mentality, but like I never, I feel like I never got spots out of that,
Right.
for like working for free and doing stuff like that. But
I've always been curious, since I started here,
Yeah.
as I get to know the comedians and see how it all works, like how that became, like who set that precedent? Like, I mean, it's been known for years that comedians don't make money and they just want stage time, and it's set a weird precedent.
now, if you like really look at it too, from what I understand, for comedians that have been around a while,
Yeah.
is that the feature and like I think the headliner rate has changed, but like the host and feature rate is pretty much the same since like the 80s.
Yes, you're not the first one to say that.
Yeah,
Some other
I've heard
comedians
people
have said
say that. I don't know. I was born in '86,
Right,
but
right.
like they're as far as, and I heard they tried to unionize back in the day.
Oh, I did. No, I haven't heard that.
Yeah, I heard a story that they tried to unionize, and obviously it fell through because
Right.
of scabs like me. And
I think you Google it and it says that in Wikipedia that it was ruined by Hugh Murray.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And
with your mugshot right next to it.
and like I heard just for that reason, like, hobby comics and everybody kind of like ruined that there was no solidarity. The union didn't get going, and the guys who tried to start the union kind of got blackballed.
Of course.
Yeah,
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I mean, there's no way, like, even if right now, we said, okay, we're all going to get paid, even if it's $5 for 7 minutes, we're getting paid.
Right.
You're going to have at least 30 comics, showing up saying, no, don't pay me. I'm good. You don't have to pay me.
Yeah.
Like there's no way. I just don't. Unfortunately, I just don't see it where to kill that precedent where comedians don't get paid. I just don't ever see that stopping.
It's wild because like people know this too, like the producers, and I always call them slumlords.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what I'll say about them, and they know that like comics will work for free, and they try to entice them with exposure,
right?
Like the words like exposure or industry, you know, and they'll be like, so and so is gonna watch you, and I, especially when I first started, I bought into all that, and which is like another horrible thing is like not only will they not pay you, but they force you to bring in the beginning. And like as a new comic, you really don't know the business side at all.
Right.
So you think this is the norm.
Right.
And, but so it's like, not only am I not getting any money, but I'm putting more money in your pocket,
right.
And by bringing 6 people,
yep.
or, I think for like when I first started, like Caroline's was like 10 people on like a Tuesday night.
Wow.
And you get like $0, or sometimes it's like they'll at least do like $5 a head or something like that. And,
right.
You know, like those are the nicer
right.
slumlords, to be quite honest. It's like they at least have hot water. But it's like, they just kind of take advantage of you when you're new in the business. Yep. And I think they realize, like, say a comic that's been doing this 10 years, trying to make a living off it. If you shrink down the set to like say 8 to 10 minutes,
okay.
The comic that's been working for 10 years, making a living off this, is going to be vaguely similar to someone who's like, say, a year into the business, not really making a living, not making any money. They're just starting to get spots. Like if you shrink the set down, like I say this, all the time, is like if you took like a national headliner, like anyone, any big name.
Okay.
And you gave them a 5-minute set, and then you gave me a 5-minute set. You wouldn't really be able to tell much of a difference.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Because they can't get going. But it's like over a lengthier set, you give them an hour and me an hour. All of a sudden, you're going to be like, wait, okay, there's the difference. This
Absolutely
is why this
right.
person's the national headliner.
Sure.
But when you shrink the set down, so it's like if you get someone who's new in the business, a 5-minute set, it's going to, the audience isn't really going to be able to tell the difference between, like, say, like a guy just breaking out of the open mic scene versus like a headliner that isn't nationally known.
Right.
Like
right, when you're nationally known,
like a Road Dogg or a Road
right.
Warrior.
Or even, talking about Terry McNeely.
Yeah.
You know what you're getting, so a lot of the right-wing Republicans are coming to Terry's show, because that's the kind of thing he does. That's his
like shtick,
right? So when you have that reputation, you'll get an audience and they'll know what to expect, and they're ready for it. But then if Hugh Murray comes out to do a guest spot, they're like, well, I'm waiting for Terry with my right-wing humor. Who's this guy? So you need that time to get going to build that rapport with them.
Exactly. Yeah. And like a quick 5 minutes is almost like forgettable,
Right.
And I actually got put up Sunday at the club here.
Oh, nice.
And there was like another, I'm just thinking, the word forgettable, but there was like I don't know, like maybe 8 or 9, maybe 8 to 10 comics there, and it was cool. It was like definitely a good hang. Like everybody on the show was like really good. The crowd was hot. It was cool. Someone actually recorded, and I had like a really good moment with like a 16-year-old girl in the crowd. Isn't that so awkward to say?
I know if that gets isolated, we got some trouble. Yeah.
Yeah, no, there was it was like 16-year-old girls softball team sitting front row.
Oh, okay.
And I did my rape whistle joke. And
love that joke.
Yeah, and I did it, and everybody at the table, like all the her friends, started pointing at this one girl, and I was just like, oh, is that the one with the rape whistle? And they all start dying, so now the room's going, and I just played into that a little bit, and it was like a real funny moment. And after the show, she comes up to me, she's like, "You made fun of my rape whistle." And I was like, just don't throw it out. Like, you're 16. Right. Hang on to that thing. It might save your life. But, yeah, like, I felt like that show, there was just so many, like, great comics. Like, Mary Capone hosted. You had Dan Barry, me.
Oh, wow.
Nick Thomas headlined.
Oh, nice.
Olga.
I haven't seen Dan in a while. Wow.
Me, Joe Mahoney, and Joe Cravella, we all were hanging at the bar, and they put us up.
Nice.
Then you had Ray Goots from the city. It was very funny.
Yeah.
And Michelle Fox, and it was just like front to back, like a really good lineup.
That's cool.
But like I went second on the show, so it was like I think the show ran about like 2 hours.
Okay.
Which is like a little long.
Yeah, a little bit, but not terrible.
No, it's really not, and especially when you everyone was just coming off stage and being like, that was a hot crowd. Like, so their energy was great, so they got like a great show. I think they were a little chatty, but I felt like I had a really good set, and
good.
But like I also felt like I was kind of forgettable because I went early in the lineup.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, I was thinking like forgettable like 5 minutes ago before I started this dumb story, and it was it was like I was waiting out front, and it was like I felt like the crowd, like as they're coming out, like they're all especially with like the last two, like Olga and then Mick Thomas, is like you got two like killers at the back.
He's not only a killer, but because of his accent.
Yeah.
You just got to say, who's the guy with the Irish accent?
Yeah.
That's it.
And like I felt like the crowd was coming out, and like I don't know if maybe it's like my own jealousy, but it's like everybody was talking to those two.
Right.
And it's like in my dumb brain, I'm like like it's not because they're on like a higher level, because they're headliners, they're performing in like past at the comic strip and all the various clubs in New York City, and like I'm not really, so it's like I don't even get it in my head. Like I'm just like, oh, I was forgotten because I went up early in the set. Like not they're better than me.
You almost don't want, like if they're talking to, in this case, Mick and Olga.
Yeah.
Like you almost don't want them like to then point at you. Oh, you were good.
Yeah, you were good too.
Yeah. That just seems so obligatory. Like you don't even want that. At that point.
It's like pity. Yeah.
Right.
I personally like is like when I'm like next to like a headliner or something. I'll I really like when they come up to me and to be like, you were the best. I liked you the best.
Right.
And it's like I'm sitting next to the headliner or like someone who like gets more spots than me or something. Like I always, that feeling like makes me feel really good. And
you just elbow Olga. Take that.
Yeah, take that. You and your millions of views on Instagram.
And she's like, "Why are you elbowing me?"
Yeah, she does. I love that voice she does.
She's so funny, man. She cracks me up.
Yeah, but it was like I felt like because they were at the back and like they did so well, is like everybody was coming up to talk to them, and then it was like like Dan Barry went up first, and then me. It's like we were kind of like lost in the sauce because like they saw so much comedy between us.
Plagano says, if I ever have a production company, it's going to be called You Were Funny Too. Dana McAllister, I like when the headliner compliments me. Yeah, she says LMFAO, but in all seriousness, I like that too. Like, I do feel a little legitimate when a headliner honestly depends on who the headliner is, but But when somebody that I feel is like on a completely much higher level than me, when they, that was good. I'm like, oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah. Like I did in January. I did like a Narcotics Anonymous convention, and like Chris Roach came off the stage, and he was about to go up. I was hosting, so I just came off the stage, and Chris came up to me and he's like, you're doing things that no other comic in this business is doing.
Oh.
And he gave me that compliment, and I was just like, oh, like that was so fucking good for me.
Yeah.
Because like Chris is crushing it. He's doing very well.
Of course.
He's getting the TV, he's getting the Newsday write-ups, like he's doing really well. And but like it was the compliment too. It wasn't just like, oh, you were funny. Like it was something like a little more special, where it's just like he was comparing me to everybody, and I'm not, I'm so original. Like, oh, that was like a great one for me.
Wow.
But like I do like that. I like when like like the headliner like specifically says something. It does depend on him.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm just like, oh, you like me,
right?
Like, you're
depends
a hack,
on who it is. Right. But
like,
if it's Roach,
someone who's like really like killing it, or like really understands comedy. Like I definitely
when I 2 summers ago I hosted for Joey Cole at McGuire's, and I do my bit in the beginning, then I'm hosting, so. Joey grabs me in the middle of the show. In fact, it might have been Gage. Gage was on that show, and I think he may have been up at the stage at the time. But Joey comes up and he goes, "There was one bit I do about about being on the autistic spectrum." He's like, "You got to kill that. You got to get rid of that bit." I'm like, "What do you mean?" I go, "I didn't look like I offended anybody. I didn't. It's not a bit where I'm trying to offend."
I'm sorry. This is from Joey Cola.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I'm like, Joey, it didn't offend anybody. I'm not the material. It doesn't. That's not what I'm trying to do, and it doesn't come out that way. He goes, no, you're not offending anybody. He says, but the topic itself is too depressing. He said, you can't just don't do it. He says, but I do a lot of stuff with my leg,
right?
And I spin the leg. The prosthetic actually spins. You guys, if you watch regularly, you see me do it a million times. So he's like, but that's killer. He says, you got to do more leg stuff. I really love that stuff. I'm like, oh, okay, great.
Yeah.
The next day after the show, he actually called me up, and we talked about that, because I was impressed that he even took the time to discuss things, even though it was all constructive criticism. Even though he was telling me to take something out,
right?
I was flattered that he was in the middle of the show, no less.
Yeah.
He hadn't even gone on yet. You would think he'd have to, get a groupie, do cocaine, whatever he's got to do to get up there, before he goes
that
up.
Joey Cola level of energy.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes. Exactly. That he took the time to talk to me. So the next day he calls me up, and we're talking about it more at length. But as we're getting off the phone, he's like, all right, so he goes, I'd love to do this again. He goes, and one of these days we got to get together and write.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit.
Yeah,
I mean, of course,
awesome.
That's 2 summers ago, and it hasn't happened. But
I know.
But still, to get that,
it feels really good in the moment.
Yeah.
Especially someone like
I'm
Joey
sorry.
Cola.
I wasn't playing footsies with you. Sorry.
It's okay. Marissa might get jealous. But
sorry, Marissa.
Yeah.
Don't kick my ass like you did that woman here at the club.
Yeah. Yeah, but someone like Joey Cola, who comes off, been in the business 40 years,
right?
And, crushing it, and like
always crushing it.
Yeah, like that is like that always feels like really fucking good. There's like certain ones too, like Long Island, like there was I think like my second or my third show ever, I did like it's weird to think about it now, but George Gallo used to run like the open mic at the brokerage.
Right, yeah.
And Terry McNeely would host, and like George would always headline, but like that was like the beginning of like the Road Rage tour. And I went down, and like this was like my third show ever, and like George pulled me aside and like was telling me, he's like, yeah, I really think you have something. Yeah. Like you need to stick with this. You need to write. And like, then like it was like the rest was history. Like we like us three started going on the road together, and kind of built like a really great friendship. But it's like, yeah, just like certain people that like really like grab your attention with that, and like the constructive criticism. Like I love that so much.
Yes.
Because like especially for someone in the business, is like they're not trying to like they're trying to help you,
right?
You know, like sometimes like I feel like you know, certain comedians like are saying things just to be a dick.
Oh yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
And they're trying to like get under your skin.
Yep.
But like someone like that is like literally just trying to help you like be a better comedian, because I do get that like about certain topics, you know, like I even feel like a lot of my recovery material is like it's too depressing of a topic,
right?
You know, especially for where I'm at, like the Thursday, Sunday like fundraiser shows, like the Friday, Saturday shows. When people are kind of expecting comedy, you know, just going out for comedy, I tend to get away with more. But like the Thursday, Sunday benefits, it's like people are just kind of going to support something,
right,
and like raise money. They're not really going for the comedy. It's just like a night out, like
right.
That for you know, that could be karaoke night, or it could be fucking bowling for all they care,
right?
You know, it's more about just like the night out with their friends, raising money for the cause. And you know, typically it's like parents are just coming out to raise money for kids,
right?
So I feel like invoking like drug addiction, where parents are kind of like subconsciously thinking about children, is like, oh, is my kid gonna be a drug addict? And then it like turns into like a whole like fear. And you know, I even talked to James, you know, the owner, and he was telling me not to drop the recovery, but shorten it, because like I could probably do like 10 minutes on recovery,
right?
You know, like alone. But like I was like like I felt like by the end of it, it was just like, we get it, you're on heroin. You know, like,
you know, I think that depends on the crowd, because like you take Jay, who by the way is still not here on Tuesdays.
I know, Fat Jay,
bastard. Like he does, you know, 10, 15 minutes solely where it's all fat jokes.
Yeah.
And, you know, you could easily say the same thing. Okay, we get it. You're fat.
Emily
you know.
Santosis with the trans.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say 95% of the time that I've seen both of them,
right,
they're killing it.
Yeah, they are.
They are killing it. And, you know, so, I mean, I'm with you. I would have the same mindset. Okay, one-legged, we got it. In fact, Dan LaRocco came up to me like a month or two ago. We were here at the Giggle Room. And Butera, it was a Butera show, and he's like, go up and do 5 minutes. I'm like, okay. So I did my leg stuff. And LaRocco said to me, he goes, you know, because I don't even mention the leg stuff till about halfway through my set.
Right.
But LaRocco's like, nah, you gotta do that right from get-go. And I'm thinking, well, but again, you know, like I can't imagine doing 10 minutes.
Right.
But then I don't know, again, I think it could it depends on the crowd, but
yeah.
Then of course I'm thinking too, well, maybe somebody like LaRocco gave me some good one-legged jokes, because I don't have that many. You know, most of my one-legged shit is like cringy. You see the audience is like,
yeah.
And I try to just play off that and make that my persona. Like, here's the goofy guy with the one-legged jokes. But,
right.
But there's plenty of times where I'm like, fuck, I need better material about the one-legged shit.
Yeah.
But it depends on the crowd, I think.
Yeah, that comes from writing. You know, like if you just like sit down and write, you know, you'll be okay with that. But yeah, like I just felt like it's like the topic, you know, like I was trying to work out this joke about I thought it was like a really funny line. It's like I'll always pay for like birth control, but just not up front. Like, send me the receipt, you know, and I'll pay you back, you know, like, because otherwise it just comes off like you're trying to get money out of me, you know, and you're just lying about being pregnant because you're mad at me, you know, like I thought it was like a really like funny premise, but just like invoking abortion on stage,
right?
Like people pull back, and it's just like, you know, and which is like so weird because people like. There are just like political comedians,
right?
You know? And this really became like a political topic. Like it, you know, I know it's kind of like religion based, but like, you know, it's like those no topics like religion and politics,
right?
But like comedy is like all about that, you know. And but like the second you like I even mention like I had to take the word abortion like completely out of the bit,
right?
And kind of like Keegan was making fun of me because it was like I'm trying to make this abortion bit cuter.
That actually might be a funny bit right there. We're talking about abortion, but
yeah.
But that trying to make it cuter, like that alone, I think is really funny.
Yeah. So it was like like I'm trying to like just polish it up and make it like more family friendly abortion bit, and it's just like because like the topic is just somewhat depressing, and same with like drug addiction and
right.
autism and
right.
But like I feel like as a comedian, it's almost like our job to take these depressing topics and make light of it.
I agree.
Well, not make light of it, or kind of like laugh through the pain a
right.
little bit.
Yes, exactly. I agree 100%. But unfortunately, that used to be the case.
It used to
but
be.
Yeah, it's
changed.
It's gone. I'd like to think it'll come back. In fact, I had a conversation with Joey once, and I forget if it was on the air or not. So I hope I'm not speaking out of turn. But he said something about how, like it or not, you got to go.
Yeah, you got to evolve
with the times, right?
Yeah,
you got whether you like it or not. Otherwise, you're not going to get to work.
Yeah.
So Fremder actually came up with a good one. The people that are against abortion are the ones that want you to get rid of those jokes. That's actually pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty smart.
There's always light at the end of the tunnel with an abortion. Oh, Fremder.
Yeah.
Dana says, yes, I totally get that. Okay, Dana, we get it. You're disabled. Shut up. Yeah. And Dana, same goes, I forget the guy's name. The last time you were here a few weeks ago, that guy in the wheelchair. Like, we get it. You're in a wheelchair. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Kieran.
I think so.
Kieran McGovern.
Yeah. And Andy Pajanos, too. I had a chubby for days after Joey Cola was filming his part in Comic Sans at my office.
Yeah.
And he said as he was leaving, see you around the club. Yeah, I guarantee you, Andy, you were thinking, I didn't know Joey knew who I was.
Yeah.
Heard abortion clinics are haunted. Lots of ghost sounds. Oh, So anyway, we were talking about the fire alarm.
Yeah.
The fire alarm was going off. Like when it first went off. So these poor guys are in the middle of taping their show for Thursday.
Yeah.
The fire alarm goes off. There's one alarm right outside the room here, and it was going on. What would you say? At least 15 minutes, nonstop, right?
Yeah.
I run out of here. I'm engineering the show, but I run out to figure what the hell's going on. I don't know if anybody else is in the building. So I'm walking around, and before I found anybody, I'm up and down this hallway here. And it was going on for so long that, like, my brain started playing tricks on me.
Yeah.
I'm walking through this hallway. I'm like, is there smoke in this hallway?
Yeah.
Or am I just...
Yeah, because it is weird. It's like, when you hear a fire alarm, like...
Right.
In my business, like my day job, like I tend to think like, something's broken. I don't really think fire, but like at a place like this, I was kind of like, wait, is there really a fire? Like there's a kitchen, like
exactly.
what's going on?
And a day job, too, you're most likely getting paid by the hour. You're like, screw it, I'll go wait outside.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
So, I was like, is there smoke? Is there really smoke here? Like, I really couldn't decipher. I walked back in here for a minute just to kind of, like, focus a little bit better. I'm like, because there's no smoke in here. I'm like, okay. And I went back out, and I'm trying to figure out what in the world is going on. It's still ringing. So finally I grabbed my keys. I have a key to get into the Giga room, so I undo the key. And usually the door that gets me into the Giga room that then leads to the main club, that door is usually open, actually open. So I was like, all right, so if I go into the Giga room, I have access to the rest of the place. Let me figure out what's going on. So I'm walking through, and that's when I get into the main club, and that's where I see Truson. I'm like, okay, thank God somebody else is here. And so I go, John, you know what's going on? He goes, I don't know what's going on. And then Ange comes out of the kitchen.
Yeah.
And the club was dark. So she sees Truson, and she knows that he's there. So she sees me, and she goes, who's that? I go, Ange, it's just Tony. She goes, oh, okay. So now we're asking each other, anybody see anything? But she just came out of the kitchen. She's like, the kitchen's fine. Truson's like, yeah, everything's fine. I go, yeah, everything's fine by my end. And now I'm thinking, too, because we're the lowly, studio that's, next to dumpsters that, doesn't generate any money. Right away, in my head, I'm like, they're going to blame me. They're going to say that somebody opened the door or something. Like, we got some, comedians in the back. They didn't know. They opened the door. And I'm like, oh, shit. Like, I almost wanted there to be a fire.
I know.
So, but then it stopped. So I'm like, all right, it stopped. Whatever, no problem. Just as I lock the giggle room to come back in there, it goes off again.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck? So I come back. I think, I was starting to come back in here anyway. It shut off. I'm like, all right, good. It went back on.
Right.
All right. So now I go back again. Open up the giggle room again. I go around. This time I go to the offices, and there's Truson now, and he's just working on his computer. Like there's nothing.
He gave up, yeah.
So I said to him, I said, John, you gave up? He's like, yeah, Angie's on the phone with on either James or the alarm company. She was on the phone with somebody.
Yeah.
And he's not even looking at this point. He's just doing his thing. So I'm like, all right, screw it. Yeah, if he doesn't care, I'm not going to care.
Right.
And I just came back, but I think total off and on. It had to be at least half the time you guys were recording.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I felt like it definitely took out like the last like 15, 20 minutes. I'll have to check now that I got the file, but it and this is kind of why we're not posting it. It'll be the lost episode of Treading Water, but because we were in like a deeper conversation, like the conversation kind of turned, and we were like, we were talking about like funny like high school stories and being like competitive like athletes and stuff, and then like the conversation turned to kind of like how we have no friends anymore,
right?
Right. And like we were getting like real like depressing, and it was like a deep conversation, and then it was like the alarm went off. We got like awkward or whatever, and it was just like, okay, like what's going on? Is there a fire? We kind of like played it off a little bit, and then like, whoever was at the fire panel, they kept resetting it. So, I know a little bit about fire panels too. So it's like I know like if there's like a nagging issue, is like when you reset it, it'll come back in. So it's like they would reset it, and then like say we would be like, oh, okay, cool. That's it. That's the end of it. So what were you saying? And then like we would get back into it, and then all of a sudden the fucking alarm would come back in, and we're like, should we just like wait this out? And we're like, well, the clock's ticking,
Right.
And it just kind of like became like this awkward thing where it was killing like the last 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So the first half is good. Maybe I'll even like release like the first half hour or whatever.
Yeah.
But we're gonna try to salvage something because like we did have some funny moments on that.
Right, and that's the thing. And I did. And I think you were still here when I did. I watched it back, and it was louder. It came through louder on the audio than I thought it would. So I figured with the doors closed and whatnot, but no, it came in pretty loud. And yeah, I mean, you guys. That's what I love about your show. You guys. First off, funny as hell. If you didn't watch last week's, where you guys are talking about fucking robots.
Oh yeah,
and I don't mean like a complaint like fucking robots. I mean like fucking robots.
Yeah, getting in there.
Hilarious. But then you guys will talk about things like high school. Both of you are very open about your drug use. So there's some hilarious moments, and then there's some good, honest, pure discussions. So it did. That
was kind of the whole point of the podcast,
right?
Like
and there is another funny. Speaking of fucking robots, there is another moment like that yesterday. That's just as funny, kind of like in the same vein as fucking robots. I don't want to give it away.
No, go ahead.
And
well, which
I'm just gonna say the movie American Pie. Travis did something. He basically did the same thing, but. I just want to leave it at that because I want you to hear them do it and laughing and all. It's so funny. Hopefully, at least that. If nothing else, at least hopefully you can get that. The other talk you can probably get into again, but that moment.
I think we're going to try to get a clip out of that moment and the story about my high school football coach.
Oh, yes. Yes. Oh, I forgot about that. Was funny, too.
Yeah, those are the two that Travis brought up that we wanted to salvage.
Oh, I totally forgot about that. Okay, yeah. So hopefully that's the case. So so no treading.
That was all before the alarm, so we might be able to salvage at least clips out of that, or like I said, now that I'm thinking about it, I might be able to just like cut it up, and then when like the fire alarm goes off, just like end it. You know.
So no treading water Thursday at 1 this week.
Yeah,
but
Travis will be in Texas trying to get Tony Hinchcliffe's attention. He said he might stop by Kill Tony. I don't know if you're familiar.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, because James wasn't even familiar. We were talking to him about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he thought that idea was pretty cool. And I was like, yeah, that thing is that podcast. You go on for like a minute, and it's like making people's careers.
Right. Yep.
Like I feel like Gio Perez did it like twice or something like that, and he now he's got like the attention of the comedy world, like know, like a lot of comedians like respect him for doing well on that.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. So all right, so there you go. That's that.
Yeah.
And then so I was pissed off with the fire alarm because I hate when things screw things up in here.
Yeah.
So I left here pissed off, and I had a wake to go to.
Oh yeah.
So I leave here. It's an old friend of mine, my buddy Rob. Allen is his name. His father passed away. So I'm driving to Hempstead Turnpike. I don't even make it to Gardeners. I'm like, man, something doesn't feel right. So I'm at the light there. I open my door. Sure enough, my driver's side rear tire is flat. I'm like, son of a bitch!
I hate that.
I was pissed. Yeah. And this is, like I said, this is an old friend from high school. Yeah. I knew his parents, so I wanted to get there to support his father. Well, support his father, show my love to his father.
Yeah, pay your respects.
Yeah, pay my respects. Thank you. So I immediately just pull into the mobile. Is that I think it's a mobile right there on the corner. So I fill the tire up, and I'm wondering, can I just get over? It was in Farmingdale. Can I get over there? I fill the tire up. It's all the way up. I put the nozzle back. I go back. Sure enough, I can hear.
You hear?
Oh
my god! I hate that.
So I just drive to my.
I'm not too familiar with it, but I know some of the gas stations sell the Fix-A-Flat for like it's like under $10.
Oh fuck! I didn't even think about that. I didn't think of that.
I got a flat. I don't know. Maybe like a month ago.
Yeah.
And it was so annoying too, because like I saw the thing in my tire, and I tried to do the same. I was like, let me just get it, because I was over by. What is that? There's like it used to be called On the Run gas station. I think it's like a Shell or something now. So I was like right there, and I pulled into the gas station, and I was like, let me just make it home, because it's not even worth calling a tow truck.
Right.
I'm so close to my house.
Right.
And so I pull in, and I try to fill it up with air, and it's just not working. Like it's not even holding a little bit. So finally, I do the Fix-A-Flat, and I guess like the foam or whatever like helped a little bit. So I was able to hold a little bit of air. I was able to get home. But then when I got home, I noticed the thing in my tire. It actually looked like a piece of like very, very small copper tubing, but it basically created a straw.
Oh, right, yeah.
So it's like any air that I put in would just come right out the straw,
right.
And I was just like, this is the worst flat in the world. Like, I can't even get like a pound of pressure on this thing, right. Because it's literally just coming at like whatever it was like, like a little piece of copper pipe.
Right.
And it was just like, so fucking small that like I could barely notice. I was like, oh, it looks like a nail or whatever. I felt it with my finger. It was metal, but it was literally a hole in the middle where the fucking air could come out. It was so depressing.
Yeah, I was pissed. And then I get mad at myself because then this is horrible to say, but I actually did think to myself, well, at least I was just going to a funeral. I didn't have a show.
Yeah.
Or this weekend, I'm going down to North Carolina, and I'm driving. So I'm like, at least it wasn't on the way to North Carolina. And I'm like, this is awful. Why am I thinking this? My poor friend's father died.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy where the thoughts go,
I know. But it is lucky it wasn't on the way to North Carolina. I'll tell you that.
Yes, absolutely right. Fremder, I heard Fix-A-Flat can make your tits bigger. Yeah.
Okay.
You make me look funny, Fremder. That's why I read your comments. Hello, Carol Miner. Thanks for watching. Sometimes addicts get copper, but sometimes copper gets the addict.
Yeah, that's like drug addicts will usually sell copper to scrap metal yards. To get some extra cash.
Oh, I got it. Okay.
But in this case, the copper pipe or whatever, the little copper tubing got me.
Right.
That's where she's going.
Okay. All right. So before we get to Tuesday trivia, there was just one. Well, I had a few things, but nothing. Well, the big news just before we went on the air today, Harry Belafonte died.
I love Harry Belafonte.
Actually, I do too. Actually, yeah. Great actor.
Beetlejuice.
Yeah, right. The Banana Boat song, and a big activist too.
Well, I always like jumping the line.
Yes. Yeah, you're right.
That's my karaoke song.
Oh, is that right?
That's my karaoke go-to.
All right, guess what I'll have ready for you next Tuesday. And I have to say, and I try not to do politics on here or even in life, but I had ultimate respect for that guy. He considered himself a Democrat, but if he thought a fellow Democrat was doing something wrong, he called him out on it.
Right.
And that's what I personally think this world needs more of: people that aren't sticking to one side just because their side, said something about a particular subject. Like, just put it out there. It's okay to feel certain ways about certain topics, regardless of what party you're with. And that guy, he helped organize the famous march that led to Martin Luther King's "I Have a Dream" speech.
Oh, wow.
Harry Belafonte was very instrumental in putting "We Are the World" together, and that raised millions for famine in Africa and whatnot.
Yeah.
So so word came out that he had died. Harry Belafonte.
That's sad.
Yeah, but he was 96, so he had a good long life.
Yeah, good long life. Local shout out to someone who just passed away.
Yeah.
If you're familiar with Levittown, we have a really great deli right by my house called Fred's Deli.
Okay.
And the owner there, Jack, just passed away. I heard yesterday. He's a very, very nice guy. I've known him since I was, barely old enough to walk. And,
so he's
he was always a very nice guy.
Wow.
But he was kind of young. I would say I would have him in his mid-50s.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but Jack is like a Levittown legend. Everybody who goes into Fred's Deli loves him. He was
where is Fred's Deli?
Right on Center Lane. Like if you go past the middle school, it's like right there in that shopping green.
Oh, where the Yes Center is?
Yeah.
Oh, right in there. Okay.
Yeah, right in
I'm
there.
familiar with it. Okay.
Great deli, great food.
Really?
Yeah, and Jack was always there in the morning, talking to you, making conversation, like local sports and whatever.
Right.
Always a sweetheart of a man,
Oh, wow. Sorry to hear.
Yeah, it was a tough one.
Wow. So all the best to his family. So Hirschman will be on here tonight crying then, probably?
Probably, if he goes there, yeah.
I'm assuming. Doesn't he live right over there?
I don't know. I forgot what block he lives on.
He's in that neighborhood, though.
I'm
pretty sure he is.
Yeah.
And even Circling the Drain, which is on here Wednesdays. Ira, he lives over there.
Yeah.
So,
Mark, he lives down the block from me and never invites me to his house for barbecue or
really?
anything. Yeah.
I bet he invites Monty.
Yeah, I'm sure he invites Monty.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, yeah, actually, I've seen that. They know each other's wives and stuff.
Yeah,
they're all gay for each other.
Yeah, Keegan, we'll go out with cigars with Richie Byrne, and
And you don't get the invite?
No, I don't never get. They invite fucking Joe Milonis. How annoying is that? I should be the cigar guy.
Can Milonis now? All right. I'm going to make a joke. I don't even know Joe Milonis, so I'm going to apologize in advance. It's all just joking around. But make fun of me with my leg, Joe, and I'll make fun of you. I'm thinking he can't even see where the cigar is going. So.
Yeah, Joe does have that. I like how he owns it. His production company is called Eye Doctor.
Oh, is that right? Oh, that's funny.
That. Yeah. And me, Keegan, and Joe will be in Connecticut. May 20th.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that'll be a fun show.
Keegan's, man, he's getting out there, that guy.
Yeah, he's like a little road warrior right now.
Yeah. Losing all the weight and stuff. He's going to be a rock star.
He looks good. I saw a picture of him someone posted from a couple years ago, and you could really tell.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's dropped a lot of weight.
Yep. All right, so before we get to Tuesday Trivia, there's something I wanted to discuss.
Sure.
Doppelganger or doppelgang. First off, I'm just curious where that word comes from. But you know what that is?
Yeah, someone that kind of looks like you. Yeah.
Right. So someone told me about this, and I was like, all right, it's not like something pressing that I really wanted to do on the show, but I thought it was just kind of funny. Apparently, this came out a couple weeks ago where this.
Aww.
Yeah, somebody had a dog, and this dog is the doppelganger for Snoopy. And this is a real dog. In fact, I have the info here somewhere.
I love that.
It's a 1-year-old mini sheepadoodle, the offspring of an old English sheepdog and a miniature poodle. His name is Bailey. And, yeah, he looks exactly like Snoopy.
I love Bailey.
All right. I don't know. I believe this is down south somewhere.
It's adorable. It really does look like Snoopy.
He looks exactly like Snoopy.
Yeah.
So like I said, so that was brought to my attention. I'm like, all right, well, that'll be kind of cute. And but it was one of those things where, I mean, I've been fortunate on this show. I've been fortunate to have Hugh and other people come in. I've been, for the most part, for the past month or so, I've had somebody in here every day, and that makes it better, and I have conversations. Stuff like that is like filler. So I was like, so I held on to that.
Yeah.
So then, but I show that because, speaking of doppelgangers,
right.
Sunday night I had a murder mystery, right?
Okay.
And we do the show.
Yeah, you guys sold out or something, right?
Yeah, we sold out.
317?
Yeah, 317 in Maine. 317 Maine in Farmingdale. Sold out. So it was around 150 people. We were happy.
Yeah,
so,
it's a really nice showroom.
Yeah, it is a nice place. So there was the show we were doing was it was a murder mystery, but it was an 80s themed high school reunion.
Okay.
So a lot of people showed up in 80s outfits, and there was this one girl. She had a Hicksville jacket on.
Okay.
And that's where I'm from. So I went to her and I was like, "Oh, Hicksville, nice." And we got to talking. Turns out I grew up with her husband, and I don't think she's from Hicksville. I didn't recognize her, but her husband wasn't there. But turns out I knew her husband. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So somebody else that was near her at her table comes up to me and she goes, "Now, all right, now I'm going to mention names. I'm even going to show you a picture of a man that I've never met.
Okay.
So I hope I don't offend this guy. And if anybody out there knows this guy, feel free to tell him." So this girl comes up to me. She goes, "Would you happen to be related to a guy named Rob Nielsen?"
Okay.
And I said, "No, I don't even know the name." Well, she then showed me a picture of Rob Nielsen. Can you see that?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, and this picture is not photoshopped. It's not anything. This is a real picture of Rob Nielsen. And I myself did a double take. The girl then, of course, texted me the photo. I brought it backstage after the show to the rest of the cast.
Yeah.
I've showed it to a few people since. And yeah, we're like, holy shit. I mean, they do say that everybody has a twin somewhere in the world.
Right.
Yeah, I think mine is right here on Long Island. This guy, Rob Nielsen, I'm actually wondering if my mother had twins and she gave one up for adoption. I'm like, exactly. Friend just says, how do we know that's not the real Tony Walker? Well, there you go. Right. You thought Paul McCartney faked his death? Well, maybe I did.
Yeah, there's some similar features there. I could definitely see it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think the eyes especially. The eyes, yeah. I mean, he's got a little bit more hair than me. He does a poor job of hiding his baldness.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah,
he's really holding on to it.
Yeah, he's just got to shave it. Just shave it, Rob. Just shave it. Friend says Paul McCartney and Angela Lansbury are the same person. Well, she's dead. And Andy says the kicker is there's no left leg on that guy. That would be something. Can you imagine if he was missing his left leg?
Yeah.
Then I would definitely just kind of take pieces from both of us and make one complete human.
Yeah. Like a little Frankenstein thing going.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there you go. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. I thought this guy, I just thought me and this guy are dead ringers for each other. I was shocked.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
that is impressive. Everybody seems to have a doppelganger out there.
Have you ever come across a Hugh Murray doppelganger?
Yeah, look, here he is. I'm kidding. This is a picture I'm showing Tony of comedian Chris Williamson with Matt Damon. But it was funny. It was a comment from my buddy Tim Thompson that pointed it out to me. He goes, "Yeah, we all have pics with Hugh Murray." Like Chris was like bragging that he met Matt Damon. And I thought that was funny.
It is funny, and there is definitely a resemblance between you and Matt Damon. Absolutely.
Yeah, I get it a lot. That's I don't always see it. Some of the like Marissa. Like she didn't really see it. But I do get it from strangers a lot, and it's not even when I do the joke. Because like now I edit it to my act. Years ago, I would just say, people tell me I look like the gay Matt Damon. It's just like a quick one-liner that's always gets like a laugh up front.
Right.
And I used to get it before I did the joke. And there was one time, I don't know if I ever told the story in the air, but I used to work at Target when I was in college. Like,
right.
I worked there for like one winter, like seasonal. And I was wearing the red and khaki, like the Target uniform. I had a name tag that said Hugh. And this lady came up to me and she goes, "Oh my God, are you him?" And I'm like, "Who? What are you talking about?" I'm like, "Can I help you?" And I was like, "Do you need like a case opened, like with the video games?" And she's just like, "No, you're that guy, like the guy, Matt Damon. Can I get your autograph?" And I'm like, "I'm in red and khakis." Like, I have a name tag. Do you think Matt Damon is working at Target?
You're filming a prank bit for Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah, like there's been people that actually like really thought like they've asked me for my autograph.
Yeah.
And I let the joke die too. Like I stopped using the joke years ago until I started doing comedy again. And I'd say in the last like 6 months or something, I got it. I must have got it like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
Before I started doing the joking, I'm like, I got to bring it back.
Right, right.
So I started bringing it back, and it's been getting a good reaction now. But I get him the most. Like everybody kind of gets a celebrity. Like I know.
Oh yeah.
I saw like Brandon LaCaruba use the picture of Billy Joel for the broken mic.
Yeah. But then I got him back because he was here the next day. So when I was promoting the show, I used a picture of Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck. Oh yeah, that's a good one for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did see that. That's good. Everybody kind of has that celebrity that they get a lot. Like
I get Billy Joel all the time, and I had one woman. And same thing. I was at a mall. I was buying I forget what store I was in, but I was buying something. It might have been like this is going back a while. It might have been KB Toys.
Yeah.
And the cashier said, anybody ever tell you look like Billy Joel? I said, yeah, I get that a lot.
Yeah.
And she leans in. I'll never forget. She leans in. She goes, "Are you really him?" And I just pulled up my credit card. I was buying like $20 worth of stuff using a credit card. I didn't even have the cash on me.
Yeah.
I go, "This credit card doesn't say Billy Joel." And I said, "Do you really think all I'd be buying is this $20 piece of garbage?"
I know. it is funny like that. Who Marissa gets a lot is Jamie Gertz.
Oh, I see that.
Yeah,
I can see that.
And she doesn't like it. Like she gets upset,
really?
and I'm like, "Are
Why?
you kidding?" I'm like, "Jamie Gertz is smoking hot
still."
Yeah, like always. Like I always had a thing for Jamie Gertz, and I was like, "Am I doing this like subconsciously?" Like less than zero.
Right.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Like she was so good looking.
All those '80s teen flicks.
Yeah, the Lost Boys.
Yeah, all that stuff. Yep.
And she says like that movie specifically, but she gets that a lot. And what was it? Fiona from Shameless. I don't know if you ever watched that with William H. Macy.
Oh yeah.
Like the oldest daughter.
Yeah, I remember this show. I think I know what you're talking about. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'll show you a picture. She gets that. I see Fiona a little bit more, but like I feel like usually when you tell someone like their doppelganger, like they get like upset by it.
Yeah, Billy Joel doesn't bother.
Yeah,
I know he's not a good-looking guy, but it doesn't bother me.
Matt Damon doesn't bother me because I know it's also like a specific Matt Damon. Like I don't look like Goodwill Hunting Matt Damon. Like I look like more like Born Identity Matt Damon, where he's
the action star kicking ass.
Yeah,
so
I'm always like, like I get that, like because like especially that era, like we were doing our hair like almost the exact same. So it was like, I get that, and I never minded
but
it.
Jano says Emily Rossum. Is that the girl's name? From
Emily
Shameless?
Rossum, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I have a close friend of mine who lives in England, and you guys have seen him. His name is Elio Pace. He's a musician in England, and he does a Billy Joel show in England. He plays theaters throughout. In fact, he's going to be playing Paris soon. He's traveling all over the place.
Right.
So a few years ago, he was in America, and he came in and he did the show with me here. And after the show, we went to Zorn's. Right. We got some chicken, and we're sitting at Zorn's, and we're eating chicken, and there were a few of us there. There was a bunch of us, and we're talking about just different things, but we're talking about his Billy Joel show, and we're just talking about Billy Joel music. So a lot of Billy Joel was part of the discussion, right?
so we're sitting there for a while eating. Sure enough, this guy comes up to us. And he goes, excuse me, I don't need to bother you guys. He says, but I couldn't help but hear you guys are talking about Billy Joel a lot.
Yeah.
We're like, yeah, we're talking about Billy Joel. So he looks at, and I thought he was going to then like turn to Elio, but I guess he wasn't listening that closely because then he turns to me. He goes, are you who I think you are? And I'm like, oh, he thinks I'm Billy.
Right.
And but I'm messing with him. I go, well, who do you think I am? He goes, are you Mike Del Judas? Mike Del Judas is the big shot, the Billy Joel.
Yeah.
So which floored me because I'm like, I get Billy Joel all the time. I've never gotten Mike Del Judas before.
Right.
I'm buddies with Mike Del Judas. I know him.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
very talented guy.
What's that?
Very talented guy.
Oh, hugely talented guy, and a hell of a nice guy. And so I'm like, this is too classic to not pass up. So I go, yes. As a matter of fact, I am Mike Del Judas.
Right.
He's like, I love Big Shot. You guys are great. I'm like, oh, thanks. I appreciate it. And I just knew it, too. And this is why I said yes. He's like, can we take pictures? And he had his wife with him and I think a kid or a friend.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy must have taken 10 pictures.
Wow.
And the whole time, I'm laughing my ass off inside. Elio is laughing because he knows what I'm doing. And all I kept praying for was this guy posting these photos and tagging Mike so that Mike would see it. So he'd be like, oh, fucking Walker fucking around again. But I, to this day, have not seen these photos anywhere.
Oh, that would be so perfect.
I was so proud of myself. I'm just dying for these pictures to get out so Mike would be like, what?
What the fuck?
Oh, I had such a laugh at that. And I never told the guy. He left there thinking that he was hanging out with Mike Del Judas.
So good, yeah.
Fremder, I always get Igor from Young Frankenstein.
Oh, I could see that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Carol Miner, I always got Joe from Facts of Life, Nancy McKeon. I can see that, Carol. Yeah. And I am just going to say it flat out. Nancy McKeon was smoking hot. And, Carol...
I feel like it might be girls more than guys that get, like, upset by it. Because, like here's, like, a picture of Emily Rossum.
Yeah, I could see it.
I
mean, it's not like a dead ringer, but
it's not a dead ringer, but like
definitely resemblance.
More like the hair and like kind of like the bone structure in the face a little bit.
Yes.
There's definitely, and this is like, I think what Marissa gets mad at is like the vibe that Fiona puts out in Shameless, because like everybody's fucking crazy on that show.
Right.
But like it's. I definitely see it, but like I feel like girls like especially get mad, like ew, like how do you think that, like
right.
Oh, she's gross or like whatever.
You like those crazy types?
Yeah, but guys are just kind of like whatever, Yeah. I do find it funny, like Keegan always gets like whoever a fat comedian is, they say like that's his doppelganger.
Right, Panette. And,
John Panette.
Yeah. Whoever the fat comedian.
Yeah, just like whoever it is, like Ralphie May, or just like, and like he always, to his credit, like people always say that to him, and like he always just took it in stride.
Yes.
And it's just like,
well, there's no boundaries there with that guy.
Yeah.
That's great though. Wow, you look like Chris Farley.
Yeah.
Wow, you look like Bluto. Plagianos, I have always gotten Travolta and Jon Stewart.
Interesting, yeah.
I guess I could see the Jon Stewart. I don't see the Travolta.
Yeah, I see Stewart more than Travolta.
I've seen Fat Jay mistaken for Billy Geyer and vice versa. Oh, that's funny.
Oh, God. It's two wildly different styles in comedy, too.
Yes, absolutely.
That's very funny.
One time someone came over to me and asked me if I was Fremder or if I just looked like him, and I replied both. All right. It is time, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, it's getting late. Tuesday trivia. Yeah. Question number 1. We're just going to get right into it. Nice, easy one. Name the Tim Allen sitcom with over 160 episodes.
Home Improvement.
Question number 2. A Tony is an award for what entertainment? What type of entertainment?
Oh, a Tony. Oh, now I'm second guessing myself. I was going to say, like, does soap operas have their own?
They do.
I'll say that. I'll say soap operas.
All right. Which state is called the Green Mountain State?
Green Mountain State. I'm going to say South Dakota.
South Dakota.
I know that one's wrong.
Andy Plagianos hates. I think that's the two states he hates, North and South Dakota, because there's just nothing to do there. Yeah,
they should just be one. Like just
let's just wipe them out. I don't know.
I think they're just trying to have like that even number. Like
50.
Yeah.
Which technically, I don't know. I mean, Puerto Rico was like.
Yeah, they might as well make it a state.
Yeah, they may as well. And then you have all those people that think Long Island should be its own state.
Yeah, I agree with them.
Yeah, I go back and forth on it,
but I think the tolls to Manhattan would be
probably even more. Yeah. In the rock and roll song, what is said before Miss Molly?
Good golly.
Good golly. Question number 5. The word radar. I don't know. I didn't know this until I read the question, but apparently the word radar. Those are initials. It's not just a word.
Yeah, it's like an acronym.
Right. What is it an acronym for? I had never heard this before.
I feel like I knew it once upon a time, but I'll never get it. So I'll just pass on that one.
All right. Question number 6. Who did Stan Lee base Tony Stark's Playboy looks and personality on?
Who did?
Like it's based on a real person.
Tony Stark, Iron Man?
Yeah.
Like
who's the inspiration for that?
I'll say Burt Reynolds, but I'm not too sure.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
All right.
I feel like Iron Man predates Burt Reynolds.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Who is the lead singer of Blondie?
Blondie?
The band.
Yeah, no. That's I don't know her name. I'll never get that one.
So hot in her day.
Yeah,
Oh my
she was
goodness,
hot.
she was hot in her day.
Yeah.
One of the most beautiful women ever. The earliest known forms of bowling date back to what country?
The Netherlands.
I love random stuff like that. Okay, what is a schroff an expert in? S-H-R-O-F-F. S-H-R-O-F-F. A schroff.
Oh, I feel like this is a repeat question.
I was actually wondering that too, and I went with it anyway.
And I forgot. I'm going to say cheese.
Okay. All right. Last question. Approximately what percentage of people in the U.S. admit to fantasizing about group sex at some point in their life, and approximately what percentage of those people actually follow through? So we need two numbers.
So the people who fantasize about group sex, and then the people who actually follow through on it.
Well, right. So it's a percentage who fantasize, but then a percentage of those people who actually do it.
I'll say 70%.
Yep.
Like, think about it,
Yep.
and then I'll go like 15% of that.
All right. Very nice.
Yeah.
Let's see. All right, let me scroll back and find where the answers start. DJ, do you love call-in Thursday? I know I told you to call in today. Sorry. Thursday I'll have Dom DeBarry with me. Like I said earlier, it's Autism Awareness Month. Actually, I don't think I said that earlier. That was before we went on the air, I think. It is Autism Awareness Month, and this is the last week of April. So on Thursday, Dom DeBarry, he's coming in. He's a friend of mine. He's been on the show before. He's on the special needs spectrum. So he's just going to hang out. But we might talk about being on the special needs world a little bit. But also Brandon Lackaruba will be here. It's his birthday on Thursday.
Also a special needs comedian.
We're going to celebrate with him. Oh, that was classic. We're going to celebrate his birthday with him on Thursday. Friday, Jen Snortland will be here with me and Andy. And it's my birthday on Friday, so we'll. So Andy and I will be tag teaming.
It's your birthday Friday?
Yeah, it's my birthday Friday. And then celebrating by taking a trip down to North Carolina to see our movie playing in a festival. Very excited about that.
Oh, very cool.
Okay, so question number 1: Name that Tim Allen sitcom with over 160 episodes. Everybody got it. Home Improvement. A Tony is an award for what entertainment department?
I think I saw one of the comments that was after I said it, and
well,
I think it's Broadway now.
Well, that's the thing. It's you guys are on the right track. We're from This Is Comedy Podcast. Yeah, I wish.
Yeah.
That's on the right track, but that's wrong.
Really?
Because it's not just. You know what? You guys correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's all things theater. I don't think it's just Broadway.
Yeah, I would say that.
Because everybody was saying Broadway, where according to the website I use, it says theater, and
I think they just associate theater with Broadway, and like they're the same thing. But I would think Tony's even have like off Broadway awards.
Right,
you know?
right. Yeah, I don't think it's just Broadway. So, but you know what? Who cares? Take the credit. Kirsten said. So the question was: a Tony is an award for what entertainment? And Kirsten wrote Oscar.
It's Oscar's award show, not to be confused with the Oscars
or Jack, who had Fred's Deli.
Yeah. And then, what was it? What is the soap opera award? Do you know?
I think it's called the Crap Awards. I don't know what, but
because now
I think it's just. Isn't it the daytime
Emmys?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, you're right. Okay.
Yeah, I talked about it here. I met Susan Lucci once. She was a bitch.
Yeah. I feel like most soap
that's
opera
my guess.
stars probably are.
Well, you know what? But then Steve Burton from General Hospital, I told you guys, he was nice as can be when I met him in here.
Oh, yeah, they do a lot.
They do a lot here with them. Have you ever been here?
No. I heard they kill it.
It's like, you would think Rodea or somebody,
I know.
I mean, I think this isn't a put down, but I think it's safe to say Rodea is in his prime currently.
Right.
I mean, he still could rise up more, but he's been killing it for the past 2 years or so.
Yeah.
But you would think it's that kind of crowd. Like I mean, this parking lot is just full as can be.
Oh yeah.
There's not an inch to move. I mean, these soap opera stars bring them in, man.
Wow.
And I was here one night. And
what do they even do here? Do they like sign autographs and answer questions or something?
Years ago.
Kind of like a Comic-Con panel?
Yeah, kind of. Years ago, I brought my wife here, the mother of my children. Because she was a big General Hospital fan, and I like getting sex. So I was like, all right, I'll bring you to this thing.
Yeah.
And at that time, it was like 3 or 4 guys from General Hospital. All they did was come out and they just tell funny stories.
Oh, okay.
They took some questions. They talk about other projects. But now I see when they're at Governor's here, they're saying like, dance party, come dance with your favorite. Like I don't know if they're still doing.
Oh wow!
If they're still taking questions and then they dance at the end, or if it's just some kind of weird dance party the whole time. I don't even know. And sure enough, when I was here, this guy Steve Burton from General Hospital, popular guy, he's been on there for years. I'm in here. All right, so I'll tell the story again quickly. Yeah. I've told it before. This guy Burton, Steve Burton, he for whatever reason he hates the green room. He doesn't like being in there.
Yeah.
So every time he comes, he's in here. James opens the door and lets him sit in here.
Oh wow.
And there's been a few times where I'll come in the next day and I'm like, what the hell happened in here? Like things are just, I mean, it's not a mess, but just things are different.
Out of place.
Yeah.
You'll always notice, yeah.
Right. And then a couple times, and again, not a mess, but a couple times I'll find a napkin or or some like notes or something, pieces of paper laying around. And that's when I'm like, who the fucking make a mess? What the fuck? I got to throw your shit out. So there have been a few times I'm like, fucking Steve Burton, fuck him. And then I even tried to get him on the show, and the avenues that I went down, the response was, well, he'll make an appearance on your show for X amount of money. So I've actually come on the show and I've said, fuck you, Steve Burton. You're not getting paid. Up yours. You're not coming on my show.
Yeah.
But who am I? So sure enough, I'm in here one night. The show is going on. I had come in. Oh, you know what it was? It was Hershey and the Keys. It was a Tuesday night.
Okay.
I get in here at 8 o'clock. Their show's at 9. I got to set up.
But yeah, I pull in. I'm like, and I see all the cars outside. I'm like, what is going on here? I walk in. As soon as I walk in the back door, I hear the music, and that's when I'm like, oh, the General Hospital guys.
Right.
I'm like, okay, whatever. And I proceed to walk in here, and not only is there papers and stuff, but this whole table, they got a spread.
Oh God!
And I'm like, what
food
the
and drinks and everything. Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
it's not
shit.
good for a studio.
Right. Well, that bothered me, but I'm thinking, you know what? But at least I didn't do it.
Right. Right.
That was all it came down to. But yeah, but I was worried about the equipment, and I see James' wife walking through the hallway. I go, Laura, these guys are here. I said, do you not want me to do the show? I said, I'll call those guys right now and cancel.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, you got all the food in there. We got to get it out of there. I go, no. I said, leave it there. I said, as long as you guys know it's here, first off. She's like, yeah. I was like, okay, because I don't want trouble with the equipment.
Yeah.
I said, but if you guys need the room, I'll get out of here. 2 seconds later, there's like maybe 3 or 4 wait staff, busboys, whatever, and they're shuffling through it. I'm like, okay, I guess they're going to get it out of here. All of a sudden, Steve Burton comes walking in.
Yeah, it's easier to do that than, like, you don't want Mark Hirschman complaining.
Exactly.
Yeah, James just didn't want to hear it.
Right. And I didn't want Steve Burton complaining either. So he comes walking in, and he's sweating. I mean, he is a mess. So I'm thinking, they must dance with the audience, I guess.
Yeah, just got done with the dance party.
Yeah, he was a mess. But he comes in. He goes, oh, I'm sorry, I'm in your way? I go, I was about to ask you the same thing.
Right.
And he goes, no. He goes, I don't want to get in your way. He says, we'll take care of this. I said, you're not taking care of anything. I said, they have guys that have started cleaning up already. So he goes, you're the guy that runs the studio? I go, yeah. He goes, hi, I'm Steve.
Right.
So I shake his hand. I go, I know who you are, pal. I know who you are.
Yeah.
And he goes,
and I'm not paying you.
Right. And that was the thing. I just said, I know who you are. And I just kind of left it at that.
Right. Keep the mouth shut.
And then he goes, I love this room.
Yeah.
I go, yeah, I've heard that. He goes, yeah, I can't stand that room. I go, so you like this room better? He goes, yeah. He goes, this is the room for me. He goes, when I come here, I like relaxing in this room. He goes, have I ever left a mess for you? And I said flat, I go, it's never that bad.
Yeah.
He goes, I've left messes? I go, really? It's not that bad. He goes, dude, I the last thing I want to do is disrespect this room. Those are his exact words.
Oh, wow.
Now in my head, I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah.
So I was like, screw it. I said to him, I go, if you're ever worried about disrespecting the room, well, then come on my show.
Right.
He goes, you do a show in here? I said, yeah. He goes, when? You give him the whole details. He goes, I'd love to do your show. So with that,
cool.
The girl that booked the girl that books all these, she's the same girl, Linda, who does
Linda Rowe.
Yeah,
yeah.
She just happened to be. The whole thing was just so weird. She just happens to walk by.
Oh wow!
He literally goes out of the room and physically grabs her, and he goes, "Linda, this is Tony. Tony," and we know each other. I'm like, "Hi, Linda, how you doing?"
Yeah.
But he turns right to her. He goes, "Next time we're in town, Linda, I'm doing his show," and I guess. I'm speculating here, but the way her reaction, like, it almost kind of like in her head, I wonder if she was thinking, no, these guys were told that you have to get paid first.
Right.
You know, like she just had a weird kind of facial expression. And I just went to her. I go, Linda, is that all right? She goes, yeah, if that's what Steve wants, yeah, then he'll come on your show. I said, okay. I said, I'm going to hold you guys to that. And then he walked away, shaking my hand, and then Hershey and the Keek started. He walked by at one point. And he walked by and actually then came back and he waved to me again. I'm like,
wow,
Steve, hey, buddy. It was the weirdest thing.
Yeah,
and then as he was leaving that night, he walked by again. So he was like right outside this door here, and I hear him yell, Tony, I'm going to be on. Oh, and these guys are doing their show. I'm like, okay.
All right.
It was the weirdest thing, but I hope he comes through because he would bring me big numbers.
Yeah. Holy shit, that'd be great.
Yeah. All right. The earliest. Where was I? No. What is the Green Mountain State? That's where we were. You said. South Dakota.
I saw the right answer. I think it's Vermont.
It is Vermont. Andy Plagano's got it right. Kirsten said Colorado. Kirsten, you're not doing well so far today with your questions.
Yeah, because I was trying to think Green Mountain Coffee.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
The Keurigs.
Yeah.
Stuff like there's like a company. And I'm trying to think where it was from, but
Carol got it right also. Okay. Let's see. What's the next one? What words come before Miss Molly? Everybody got that right. Good golly.
Well, except for Fremder. He wrote this might hurt a bit. All right. What does the word radar stand for?
Yeah.
Hugh passed on that one.
I saw, and I'm guessing Andy got it right, and I would have never got that.
Andy and Carol have the same answer. You're off by one word. You're both off by one word. They both said radio detection and range or ranging.
Or they forgot a word, did they?
No, they didn't forget.
Okay.
I guess the RA in radar, I'm assuming that means radio.
Okay.
But according to the site that I go on for the trivia questions, it's radio direction and ranging.
Oh, interesting.
But and you know what? Just because I don't feel like it, I'm not giving you credit. Screw you. Fremder says finding rays.
Yeah, I never would have got that one.
Yeah,
I felt like I knew it once upon a time, but
yeah,
no, I don't remember ever hearing that.
Me neither, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, who did Stan Lee base Tony Stark's Playboy's looks and personality on? Hugh said Burt Reynolds. Andy said Clark Gable. Fremder says Hugh Murray. Carol Miner says she has no idea. The answer is Howard Hughes. Howard Hughes. Because you were right. Because Iron Man does predate Burt Reynolds.
I was trying to think of, like, I'm not too great with, like, the old like actors and, like, the, like
the socialites.
Yeah, Jimmy Stewart era,
Right. Me neither, but I knew that much, but I wouldn't have guessed that, though. The lead singer of Blondie, everybody except Hugh got that one. Debbie Harry. Yep. Debbie Harry. First woman to rap, says Carol Miner. That is true.
She was, yeah.
Rapture. That's the name of the song.
Yep. Yeah.
Let's see.
Do you ever watch The Boys on Amazon? It's like a superhero show.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I think I saw one episode, I think.
It's pretty funny. It's like really dark. But,
right.
They get into like there's like a parody of all the different types of superheroes. So there's like kind of like a parody of Superman.
Right.
Season 3, they finally got to like the parody of like Captain America. It's like Soldier Boy, and he's played by Jensen Ackles, and he does like he was like, famous in the 40s, World War II era,
right.
And like, I guess like in the 80s or whatever, they showed like a video of him doing a cover of Blondie's Rapture.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like the rap part. It was very funny.
That's really funny. I'll have to look for that. Let's see. The earliest known forms of bowling date back to where? Fremder says definitely not Poland. Okay. Pladano says England. Those are the answers I see there. And Hugh said the Netherlands. It's ancient Egypt.
Ancient Egypt. Wow, I never would have got that.
Yeah, me neither.
I thought it would have been something like European.
That's the best part of being able to answer these questions, because then I don't show how stupid I am. I hardly get any of these. What is a schroff an expert in? You said cheese. Andy said money. Fremder said schraffing. Kirsten said fart. That's pretty funny. I thought I saw somebody put up the right answer. Oh, all right. Pajanos came close with money. The answer is testing coins.
Coins, yes.
But I don't know. But what does that mean? How do you test a coin? What are you testing for?
No idea.
But there's a good quarter. Let me make sure it's worth 25 cents. Like, what does that mean?
You definitely asked that.
Yeah, I think I have.
I don't. My guess would be like kind of like almost like a coin like historian or whatever, and like the different.
Oh, testing like to make sure it's real or something.
Well, like you know how like old quarters used to be like silver.
Oh, okay,
and then,
yeah.
You kind of like, I know like different years and different like like there's like coin people out there that collect these things just like anything, like baseball cards.
Right.
And
that just sounded funny to me. Coin people.
Yeah, no, I seen them on like TikTok.
Oh yeah.
And like guys will go to the bank and get like rolls of quarters, and they'll just open them live on TikTok. like they're opening like a pack of fucking
Right.
baseball cards looking for Mickey Mantle's rookie card.
Right.
You know, and,
Right.
and like they get to like one quarter and they'll be like, "Oh, this is like a great year," and like
Right.
you
They have
know,
those
like,
little books
yeah,
that you slide the quarter in the little slot.
and
Yeah.
they fucking like look like, "Oh, in this year there was this imperfection, and this makes it like a $50 quarter," and like it's insane.
It's whatever floats your boat, man. It doesn't really seem all that exciting to me, but
Oh, Fremda, that's good. Coin people, I think you mean Jews. That's actually really good. And Carol, Chase Crawford on The Boys, who does he play? He's your dermatologist's son?
Really?
That's pretty cool.
Oh, wow. Carol, I believe, hopefully is coming in here from Texas towards the end of May.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, looking forward to that. She came in here. She's been in here once or twice, and she's great. Love Carol. Okay, last question. Approximately what percentage of people in the U.S. admit to fantasizing about group sex at some point in their life, and approximately what percentage of those people actually follow through? Hugh said 70 and 15.
Yeah.
Fremder said 6 and 9. Pajanos, 1%. Admitting to it and doing it? Well, yeah. I'm looking for what percentage of people admit to thinking about it, and then out of that group, what percentage of those people actually do it?
Yeah. I think it's high. I think it's going to be high, the first number, you know.
Yep. Yeah, you said 70 and 15.
Yeah.
Kirsten said 25 and 10. Andy Pagano says 50 and 1. Carol says 65 and 10. Now I can't wait for Carol to get here. Going to Buc-ee's later, so birthday present will be late. Carol, you're my birthday present when you come here in May. But she's going to get the Buc-ee's. Have I given you any Buc-ee's yet?
No,
I've told you about it, right?
You told me about the Buc-ee's.
All right,
yeah.
you're the first on the list for when the next shipment gets here.
Beautiful.
Okay, I think that's all the answers. Okay, so you, my friend, the first number, the people who admit to fantasizing about group sex, you nailed it. It's 70%.
70. I knew it was going to be high because, like,
Yep.
I feel like most guys fantasize about, like, the two-girl threesome.
Exactly.
You know?
The percentage of people who actually follow through, 50.
50%?
50%.
See, I never would have thought it was that high.
I just want to know where they are because I can't find them.
Yeah, you know, I consider myself a coxman.
A coxman?
A coxman, yeah.
An expert on the cock?
Yeah. And,
because you hang out with Keegan.
Yeah, but never did the group sex.
Never?
Never.
Ever? Has it ever been offered to you?
I feel like I came close a couple times.
Well,
high
yeah.
school and college.
I'd come close to it.
Yeah, but like I felt like at the last second, like the girl that was less interested would just be like, "All right, you two have fun," and then like walk away.
Right.
But like at the time, like real quick, it was like, yeah, this is happening. You know, there's a lot of kissing and stuff going on.
Right.
But then like last second, they would get up, be like, "Okay, I did my job. Like I got you two there."
Yeah.
You know, like it was like a setup. Like I was being set up the whole time.
A buddy of mine, I'll never forget. We were in high school. A buddy of mine was hanging out with. He was walking home from school with these two girls who were close friends. And they ended up at one of the girls' houses. And he said he ended up in the girl's house. He ended up in her bedroom with her.
Yeah.
She fooled around with him. She got up, walked out of the room, and then her friend came in.
Oh wow.
Yeah. But it wasn't never at the same time. But
yeah. They weren't
especially
in the
when you're in
room.
high school,
Yeah.
you're like, I mean, if you do anything past kissing a girl, you're like.
Yeah.
So this guy was like
big news.
Yeah. All us guys that we hung around together at that time, he was the hero, man.
Yeah, his hand was sore from all the high fives.
Exactly. And whatever else we all did after that.
Yeah.
The actress that wins the Golden Globes will most likely be nominated for the SAG. Yep. Welcome to Tony and the Storytellers. Because I was telling the Steve Burton story.
Steve Burton.
Chase Crawford. Oh, you read that one. Apparently they're coming out with a remake where Superman will be black. Called the Frender. Oh my God! I'm not even finishing reading that one.
Oh, that's actually
that is pretty good.
No, that joke was done on an SNL.
Was it?
I don't approve of that from.
All right, you're out.
Yeah.
Did somebody just Fremder's shocked that we laughed at one of the jokes?
That was on Weekend Update when they switched roles. What's his name? ScarJo's boyfriend and
right.
Michael Che.
Colin Jost.
Yeah. They switched and Colin ended up doing like 3 bits on Black Superman.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it was pretty funny. Like those clips go around on like the Instagram reels and everything.
Right. I'll have to look for that.
Carol, he plays the Deep. That's actually a really big role.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's like the Aquaman character. That's like a huge role. Wow. And he's Tony Romo's brother-in-law. Very interesting.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah. Carol's also close friends with, do you know Brian McKenna?
Yeah.
Carol's good friends with him.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, Brian's a nice guy. I haven't seen him in a while.
We had him.
He's been doing really well.
Yeah, he has been doing well. Carol, what did we do? We ended up getting him on the phone, I believe, once for here, right? And then I've seen him once or twice in the club since then. Yeah, seems like a really nice guy.
Jim Brewer really put him to the next level.
Yes, he sure did.
I'm still waiting for my Jim Brewer.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, who was it that he had? It was what's his name? The comedian. Oh shit. He's all over the clubs. The cat guy.
The cat guy.
Yeah. He's political guy. He's local. Why am I drawing a blank on his name? He started out with Jim Brewer.
Loftus?
He opened for Brewer for a few years. Oh man, I can see his face and I know him.
Yeah, Andy got it. Paul Bond.
Thank you, Andy. I don't know why I was having a brain fart there. Yeah, he had his
the cat guy. Yeah, I could have got that. He's got the whole cat sanctuary.
But yeah, he opened for Brewer for a few years.
Yeah.
So now it's McKenna, and then I don't know. I like McKenna, but you're my pal, so we'll have to take him out.
Yeah. I got to find my own Jim Brewer.
Oh, so that's nice. You're not saying you don't want Brewer. You're not going to take McKenna out from Brewer.
No,
you're saying you want to find your own Brewer.
It could be Jim Brewer, but it could be someone else too.
Yeah. All right, we'll have to do that. We'll have to look. All right, we're out of here. Sorry we went late. Thanks for sticking with us.
Real quick plug. I just got told last night I'll be hosting for Moody McCarthy at the Brokerage all weekend, nice. Friday and Saturday.
Nice.
Come down, yeah.
Very nice. That's this weekend at the Brokerage. Very nice. Like Kool-Aid. Hello, Like Kool-Aid.
That's Miguel Silva. What's up, dude?
That's right. I was about to say, I always forget who that is. Yo, bros, just popping in between meetings. Yep, good timing. Yep, we're about to sign off. Go to the Brokerage this weekend and see Hugh Murray. So I'll have to edge to the list here of all the names that are playing Governors this weekend. Michael Loftus is playing Governors Domain Club this weekend. Carla Okerson. There's a pre-Mother's Day comedy benefit to benefit suicide awareness and prevention on Sunday. All right. Sophia, the New York medium, she's playing, I think, the Brokerage sometime this weekend as well. And our pal Hugh Murray will be there. So there you go. Lots of great stuff. Go to govs.com and check out the full schedule and see what's going on and make some reservations. Like I said, Thursday, I'll be here with Brandon and Dom DeBarry. Friday with Jen Snortland and Andy, of course. Today's Tuesday. Hershey and the Keegs tonight at 9 o'clock. They were supposed to have Roach. He canceled. Hirschman's been bitching about it all over Facebook. So you're just stuck with Hershey and the Keegs tonight.
He said my episode was one of the most popular they've had. I don't know if I buy it.
He pretty much says that every week.
Yeah, oh, does he?
But okay. I believe it. I will go with it.
I don't know if I beat that autistic artist. I feel like they got a lot more views on that one.
Yeah, they definitely got some heartstrings on that one. But it's very misleading because they come across as like these guys who care.
Oh, yeah, and they don't.
Yeah,
they
people
don't.
are like...
They're vultures.
Right, they're thinking, oh, what a wholesome little show that was.
Yeah, click vultures.
Right, and then they, tune in the next week to see these... When they gathered the family around, only to see Keegan talking about gay sex and...
Yeah. Keegan probably even fake tears, just like crocodile tears.
Yeah. Well, Hirschman, he's an easy crier, that guy.
Oh, is he? Yeah.
Which I'm embarrassed about, but because Sally used to engineer their show. So when Sally and I broke up, I took it over, and Hirschman felt the need to discuss this on the air, and he started crying about it.
Wow.
And we had just broken up. It was me, so it sparked me, and I'm sitting there fucking crying. I'm like, and I guarantee, I haven't even asked Mike, but I guarantee he was sitting right there between us. I guarantee in his head he was probably laughing his ass off. Probably texting Taliani, you should see these pussies. But I was like, I couldn't help it.
I gotta ask him
freaking Hirschman's freaking teared up, and it just sparked me. And we're sitting there crying. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
But, Yeah. So so all these wholesome people tuned in the next week to hear Keegan being racist. So that's tonight at 9 on the YouTube channel. How was that for promoting our show? I love those guys. They're really funny. They said they were getting Todd Zeal in soon, so I'm hoping that's happening soon. I'm interested in seeing that. So tonight at 9 on the YouTube channel. Then we're off tomorrow. Don't forget Circling the Drain tomorrow at 7. Why You Like This at 8:30. And then we're back here on Thursday. Don Sill does have a Donversations this week. That's Friday night at 8. And, so that's it. Thank you, pal. We'll see you this weekend at the brokerage. Very nice.
Thank you.
All right. We'll see you guys later. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy your Wednesday. We'll see you later.
Thank you.